Deadly tsunami strike overseas with little warning and with more than 200 people killed on the northwest coast of Java, Indonesia. Footage from inside a band performance appearing to show the wall of water, you see it right there, surging through the venue. Less than a half hour earlier, the Anak Krakatau volcano, 60 miles offshore, erupting with underwater landslides, apparently triggering that massive wave. Onshore, scenes of complete devastation. Boats and vehicles tossed, homes washed out, as first responders are searching the debris right now for survivors. There are concerns tonight that volcano could blow again and possibly create another deadly wave. ABC's Julia McFarland leads our coverage with the new pictures coming in.
Crowds gathered to watch a popular Indonesian band, and then the video cuts out just as the tide swept in, taking lives with it, including members of the group performing. The tsunami came without warning for most. Daylight revealing the devastating aftermath. The coastline littered, buildings, hotels and homes washed away. Vehicles scattered around like toy cars, thrown into buildings on top of piles of debris.
These rooms where people were staying just completely destroyed. You can see the beds there, ruined.
People lining up outside of clinics, checking on patients' names, searching for the missing. Others crying and comforting each other outside of hospitals. That band's lead vocalist surviving the killer wave, asking for prayers for his dead friends and his wife, now lost. At least 222 killed, more than 800 injured. Those numbers could rise further as rescue workers try to get into areas that have not yet been reached. Aid workers desperately trying to treat the injured. The hospital's either too far or lost in the wreckage. Teams working around the clock to find survivors trapped in the rubble. This boy pulled to safety 12 hours after the tsunami. All this triggered by an underwater landslide after a volcano erupted. The Child of Krakatau has been erupting since June and is situated in the ocean between Indonesia's most crowded islands. The coasts around it, beautiful beaches popular with tourists and expats, especially during the holidays. The killer waves come as Indonesia is still recovering from the last tsunami that killed more than 2,000 earlier this year. And tonight, fears that volcano still erupting could trigger new tsunamis as this region struggles with the unthinkable yet again.
So many devastating images tonight. Let's get right to Julia McFarland. And Julia, you mentioned there was little or no warning for this tsunami, but as you point out in your report, how is that possible in a nation familiar with these deadly waves?
Great question, Tom. The Indonesian Disaster Agency does have sensors on buoys on various coastlines, but the reality is their warning system is notoriously unreliable. Firstly, it suffers from a lack of funding, especially in recent years. There's also the issue that the sensors are mostly wired to measure quakes, but in this case, it was an underwater landslide that triggered the waves. There's just no way for the system to have detected it. Tom?
Julia McFarland leading us off tonight. Julia, thank you. And I want to bring in David Lipson, an Australian journalist who spent the day touring the devastation. And David, there is a real fear right now there could be more deadly waves on the way.
There certainly is, and we're seeing that up and down the coast of West Java, villages and towns that have been deserted because people fear that that next tsunami could be along the way. There is some hope that people will be rescued. There are a number of people missing. We don't know that exact number. There's still a little bit of fog surrounding, if you like, exactly what is happening on the ground, but people are holding out hope for survivors.
You walked the streets of that disaster today. Tell me what it was like.
It's pretty frightening, but also quite strange because you are seeing some villages that have been destroyed, cars swept around, tossed around like corks in the ocean, and buildings demolished by the surge of sea. But then you're seeing other villages that remain untouched because of the angle of the coastline and the angle of the seabed. They have survived and are deserted.
David Lipson reporting for us tonight. David, stay safe.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.